I can't breathe in this thing!
Well, we've learned about the tear. Far off in the horizon, telescopes found an anomaly that could only possibly be a tear. We could send a rocket through the tear to allow a duplicate to explore the timelines, and would never return, and we could not follow. I'm not sure what Nails has realized what they've signed up for, but, yeah. Hope I don't accidentally kill them between now and then. Get any resources out of it? Vacuum, artifacts. There's a chance of artifacts and other stuff. It's got other stuff, so it's probably like neutronium. What the frick do you do with neutronium? I could study it. I am a very, very long way from being able to do that, however. We're still waiting 2 cycles for Nails to come back. This, hopefully enough fullerene to let me make supercoolant. Yeah, I think I just might build a second rocket. One for some short cargo runs, and then another for... Can't go there either. Got space over here. We're working on buttoning the roof up. I think that might be where it goes. Yeah, that might be where it goes. Can run the petroleum rocket for a while. Well, quite a ways on petroleum. Once I can... And liquid oxygen and hydrogen are effectively, using what I've already got, right? Yeah. And the issue is these... Why are you hungry? You have almost enough air in here to pop the eardrums of anyone that comes in. Okay, let's make it really unpleasant for the next person to come through. Does that do it? Do I have to pressurize this that much? Hey, where'd the oxygen go? Oh, yeah. Because this guy... Because this tangle of snot... God, that's terrible. That needs a complete redo. That needs a complete 100% redo. I need to make way more oxygen. We'll figure out where in the 9 hells this all goes, because I've got a backed up line here. That does... Where do you come from? You come from here, and you hop across to go back up. Go back up and then do that. Why did I think that was a good idea? That's terrible. That's absolutely terrible. Yeah. This is going to need some work, because I don't think I can sustain 6 kilos of pressure here. Which is weird, because I can accidentally get like 8 kilos of pressure in a place I don't want it, but now I have difficulty building up to 6. Go figure that one out. Okay, Nails should be back any second now. Any second now. So our map said 0.1 of a cycle. Hopefully it's not another frickin'... I started opening the doors just so I could go do some stuff with like 0.3 of a cycle left, and then a meteor shower came up just long enough for me to close the doors. I was a little worried I might not get them open again before they got back. As much fun as it is watching them bulldoze their way into the base, it's kind of a pain in the butt to have to rebuild everything all the time. Where are you? 0.1 of a cycle. You should be back here any second now. Well, there's notice. Space mission complete. And we're down. Now I have to rebuild all the gantries again. Did we melt anything that time? Delivered? No, we're delivering some stuff. Some stuff coming off. Got to rebuild. Should only have to rebuild this. Everything else is either... Nope, I'll have to build one down here too, won't I? To rebuild this one. Taking a little oxalite. This thing here, this should have an input. This should have an auto input. The way all that stuff does. Does hey, we got cargo bay, copper, see, nicer resin. Please tell me we got some fullerene and it's just hidden by the ladder. Okay, Nails, you can hop out. Am I in regular? Oh, I'm in motion. Unassigned. Oh, Nails must have snuck out while we weren't looking. This receptacle thing, that filled up like instantly. I expected that to hold more, given that it's a conveyor receptacle. Now I have to... grumble, grumble, grumble. Now I have to do... What do? I do this. Oh, I can't even tell it to... I can't even tell it to drop stuff out. Okay. Well, that's good to know and stuff. We'll just do this the dumb way with an unloader and a bunch of other stuff. Alright, it's all unloaded. Finally. Important stuff. What? Oh, shut up. 230 kilos of isoresin. 2 and change kilos of fullerene and... Oh, that's the leftover niobium. Because I put this at 9. And someone grabbed all of it up from down here by the molecular forge. Because that made sense. Where did I put that thing? Oh yeah, it's over here. So you... I can make... fullerene... insulation, viscogel, and thermium. So, supercoolant's what I want. Now, does it make it in a... Please... Okay, I gotta go... Before I even start this, I gotta make sure that makes it in a container and doesn't just barf it onto the floor. Because the last thing I do is to want to finally get some of this stuff and then have it just barf it out. It doesn't have a doesn't have a liquid in. So how do you get stuff to it like that? Do I have to have a pit? A pump? Do I do this? Get someone to come and grab this and then mop it up and take it there. I gotta read this up. Remember that Drecklet infestation I talked about? We encountered something slightly worse. So in the process of making dense puffs for like 2 ranches over here, I've actually got a surprisingly large amount of oxalate out of it. It's doing quite well. Unfortunately, I took my eyes off of the eggs for a couple minutes, and because I wasn't storing them anywhere, there's no actual, like, barely any real oxygen in here. What there is only ever wafts in through the doors on either side. So we have to go, I'm afraid we have to do something about this. We just have to. I'm afraid we need a purge. Okay, now that that's dealt with, a few less things pathfinding around and destroying my frame rate. We'd pick up a whole bunch of meat. And the rest of these can just keep making their own ones. Although I think I'm going to... Actually, no, it doesn't matter. Because they'll detect whether or not the eggs are inside a storage bin anyway. They'll still complain about being overcrowded. That said, I'm not getting a whole lot of oxygen over here because... I don't know why. This seems like it should be going that way, but it's not. We've got stuff coming up from... Okay, that's pulling oxygen. You don't need to run at all, actually. You only ever run if this runs. And that barely runs. You're just really pulling oxygen out of this room to displace it over here. This line isn't even moving at all. So that is... Oh, I don't even know what this is anymore. Okay, so you... Where do you come from? Nowhere! Okay! God damn. This place is a mess. Okay, then what do? You come around here. You go that way. Then you come right back. Oh, okay. Let's just get rid of this bridge. Let's see what that does. That shouldn't cause anything absolutely catastrophic. I just want to get it done real fast here. This is putting along here. What happens if I break you? Are you going to release all this oxygen somewhere? Please tell me you do something with all that oxygen. And now you're... still doing nothing. So this is an in, that's an out. It's a vent. It's not being used. And you can't see that. Okay. Let's just tear things apart and see if eventually something works. Anybody? What does this do? I only say these things because I paid no attention when I was building them. You pop, and what happens then? Okay, there, we have some small amount of movement. Now this is coming off of... over here, which is horribly designed. Well, it's running. The issue is, it's not producing very well, is it? I mean, I guess it's probably the best it's going to do, right? Grams of oxygen, hydrogen. Sorting it out to do that. And then anything that's not being used for this gets dumped over here. Okay. I know it's my design. That doesn't mean I know how it works. That should keep these guys reasonably more fed. What are you set to? Oh, well, you don't need to be that high, that's for sure. 48. You're at... well-groomed. Well, you're not hungry, and there's 7 of you in here. 6 of them, so you don't need to be this high. Let's knock you down a bit. That. Which puts you the same as the other side. I don't know if you'll charge up that high. Because that one's already flipping off. Thanks. Just take a dump on camera, it's fine. Anyway, that's... okay, that should be okay. I don't know what happened here. Did I leave you on? Okay, so at some point, this guy dropped some... here, watch this. So this thing, no matter what I do, this place is just chock full of steam pressure. Like 200 and some kilos of steam. I put like maybe halfway along the whole way to try to keep it happy. Now it goes puh. And then you gonna make anything? No, of course you're not gonna make anything. Why would you make anything? You're only about ready to boil. Let's boil you off. Some of this terrible manual cooling in a vain attempt to drop all this steam back down into water again. Yeah, you can make noise, blah blah blah. Meanwhile, gold volcano just casually horks out 2 tons of gold. That's perfectly fine. Here, pick that up. That'll wake some of this stuff up because it's like 207 degrees. That might kick in once or twice. All this gold's going to come along. By the time it gets here, it's going to be about 60-some degrees. There it is. There. Losing temperature the whole way along, despite being inside of an insulated tile. You can soak up some of this heat. I don't think it's going to be enough to make this all condense back into steam, though. I think what I need to do... I need to dump a bunch of cold on it. Let's do... I still have some ice, don't I? Yes, I have 16 tons of ice. Let's dump a ton of cold onto that, shall we? And because I just restarted the game, everything is on priority 5. So I'll let that go. That should put a bunch of water there that I can dump in here. Yeah, we've done nothing to drop the temperature of the steam, though. Oh, well. It's just iron. It's just one of the most important things in the game. You know, I've collected a lot of rust. How much rust do I have? I have 13 tons. I should do something with that, shouldn't I? Shouldn't I? I should do something with that. However, down here, I think I'm ready to fire this all up. These guys are all... This guy's dumping his oil down here. This one is going to do the same. I was just waiting until I had a bunch of stuff done. I'm hoping these guys can supply that. ought to, if these two guys can supply those three, these three should have no problem supplying those four. These are all bound up in there. Let's... Game? Game. Oh, yeah. Let's ruin all the things by turning something on, probably prematurely. And go. Alright, so that's 12 kilowatts of power. Our battery should fill up fairly quickly. That's going pretty fast. I could count it off, but I guarantee that it's going to deplete faster than it's going to fill. 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000. It's about 3 seconds per kilojoule up. So we'll just let that fill up completely here. That's the only it takes to go one down. I'm going to guess it's going to be something drastic, like 1.5 or 1. Did we even make it? Okay, I know. I had to turn these guys down a bit because we went a little hard on the natural gas. Okay, keep going. Kick back in. You should kick back in. Oh, you won't get your signal until then, that's why. Do you think all these batteries would be, like, organized or something? This one's having a tough time keeping up, and the other one's doing just fine. Well, they're running hard, but I have a lot of oil in reserve. This should be... Oh, yeah. In order to make this nice little square spot, I had to dig in. And I thought I had cleaned all the oil up. I didn't, so I got a layer of sour gas in here. I don't know what you do with sour gas. You can condense it into methane or something, can't you? Which, given the years I spent in the oil patch, this is methane and butane and ethane or something like that, traces of that. And this is hydrogen sulfide. You cannot turn this into that because this has a sulfur molecule atom in it, and this is a carbon. I don't know what kind of freezing you're doing to just randomly ditch 2 or 3 protons. Even with the rest of the sci-fi stuff in the game, I'm not willing to give that a pass. That is a doesn't happen. But now that that's going, I'm going to have to rip these out because I'm fairly certain I don't have the oil production to satisfy all of that. Because I only got 3 oil wells. So we'll live high on power for a while, but it's going to crater, and this project is not much longer for this world. Not at all. This has grown even larger just over the time I've played in the last couple of days. This is all going to be reclaimed soon. All of it. Although I should do something, I should vacuum up all this natural gas and find some way to pipe it up to here. Just so it's not stranded. This has also got, oh, this got hot. This got so hot. This became such a problem. I was trying to cool it with, yeah, these give off 40 degrees C water. Well, I just figure, well, this will dump. I'll just dump it back in, and anything extra will just flow down and wind up down here. Yeah, no, it didn't happen. Turned my back on it, all of a sudden it was like 70-some degrees, and these aren't recent casualties, don't worry. These casualties have all been here for a while. They're not new. But I had to get me... was the lamest redirect ever. This is the electrolyzer water in, which just went straight up there. Nope, now it does a quick detour. If this is going to come out at 70 anyway, this might as well be as close to 70 as I can get it. Alright, there was 1, 2, here goes the third temp shift plate. Let's get that done. Let's call in the rest of all this water, which is unfortunately very hot. This last panic pile of nonsense. Shabluff. Don't think we got any steam out, did we? Oxygen? No. Okay. And fire! Game lag. Trying to figure out what to do. Everything's flashing into more steam. Come on, this has got to cool off. This metal tile is only 60 degrees. This should all condense. Here, have some more cold. Or kind of. No, we're still 100 and some degrees. Probably because everything in the room is... Oh, and here we go. So, what's going to happen is this guy's still going to see all this overpressure because we're still significantly higher. What's over here that you don't flop over? Anyway, okay, you're not on... You're on sweep only, so you'll just leave it on the ground. That's what I'm hoping for. We have vacuum and a bit of steam. And you're going to hork up a little bit of iron. Getting 10 kilos per second of iron. For not a lot of seconds, by the way. Just going to hork up just under 300 kilos of iron. Isn't a whole lot. Now you're going idle. Just take this off so you can suck this up. Move it around the room. It's already losing a lot of heat. This is where someone would say, oh, why don't you have a steam turbine up here? The reason I don't is you notice the steam never got higher than, what, 110? Not even that. Like we're at 106. Yeah, the volcano doesn't generate enough heat to justify having the turbines and the pain in the butt of the turbines and everything else, so I just took them out. We're at still at 101, although not a lot of pressure. I think it's because we made a whole lot of stuff condense. We made all of that steam condensed and dropped the pressure down when we dumped all of this water in, and then when this hit that iron came out, hit the water, it wasn't enough to make it flash to steam. It just heated the water. We got a little bit of flash at the top. So now it's trying to decide if it wants to be chlorine instead of steam. Trace amounts of steam, so it all condenses. Yeah, okay. So this is gonna stay on that. And theoretically, we're not gonna get any more oh, I should turn that off before I start causing steam in the lines. That's slowly trying to condense stuff. It's just... Nope, I didn't want to open that. It doesn't matter, because all they did was let air inside, right? Because this pressure in here dropped. I rather would have had vacuum. Steam, chlorine. What do we get? Chlorine, steam. some CO2 and a bunch of water. Okay, so there was already so much stuff in there. There were enough occupied tile spaces inside that it didn't matter. Okay. So now when it burps again, this should just immediately grab it, kick it out. It may not... It might not... It might not return to this state, though. You know what? It's only 0.2 cycles. I'm just going to pause for a second. We'll find out what happens. Okay, we're at the rising pressure stage. I did find myself wondering if I had flooded the hole inside with chlorine or something instead. And Hork. That guy grabs it. So we don't have a giant block of... No, it's still making it flash. Okay. 1,000 bloody degrees, that's kind of to be expected. I guess we got our... what? 10, 20... our piddling amount of iron out of it. Not gonna lie, I think there's... I would probably get more iron just off of collecting fresh regolith off the top of those bunker doors on the top of the map. Probably get more. Yeah, and we're at 105. What are you idiots doing? It's 130 degrees C. Here, tell you what, I'll let the collection system grab it because it'll lose a bit of heat over here. You have in you. Gold at 74. Okay, you know what? I'm going to block that off so you dummies can't do that. I may be forced to do that. Anyway, this is obviously still a problem. I either need some form of external cooling to knock it back down, or a gas pump to pump it out and let it have it, because it was no, because I would have to. I was going to be bleeding heat into the environment. This is not an area. I'd rather. It's already 70-some degrees in a couple of these places. Even despite all of my efforts to knock the temperature down. Yeah, that's 70-some degrees because that's hot as hell. Why are you 70 degrees over here? How are you... How are you 60 degrees on one side of this? Okay, you know what? I think we're... Yeah, I think I'm gonna lay off the insulated tile for a bit, I think we're gonna turn this into regular tile. And let all of this cold, all this cool we've got in here, bleed out into the surrounding environment. Because clearly this... Okay, except for that. That's 50-some degrees. And that's 60 because of that stupid thing. But it's 32 in here. 28. I know the distiller says it's worth a whole bunch, but if we look at this, it's only 24. So I can... Yeah. The disgusting industrial parts where nobody goes are more comfortable temperature-wise than the places everyone's got to work. Go figure that out. Anyway, yeah, I'll make all these adjustments and stuff. I think next episode I have to... What are you damaged by? Oh, it's the gantry got hit by something. I need to do a little bit more research. Over here. I need to do a bit more research to get liquid and gas cargo tanks. I didn't quite get enough, which means I have to take out these cargo bays, knock the top off of this, or just build a whole new rocket. Maybe just, I don't know. Because we're at the point where I can get to here for research. And I think, well, I know I can get there for research. That's easy. The research modules weigh nothing. It's the cargo ones that weigh a whole lot. And if I'm going to send someone here, or which one? One of these places. Like here, right? If I want to grab a bunch of liquid hydrogen or something. Although, you know what? Nah. I know I would like to get it, but I'm on the verge of being able to make it. I've got the stuff to make super coolant. I think I just need more niobium. That just trips back and forth to some of the other places. But I still need the research to get liquid stuff. Anyway, we'll deal with that. That's a future Kevin problem. And that's where I will see you later.